picture. Okay, we said we were talking about young, famous, and African, right? So let's bring it up. Let me just bring up the. I don't even know how to talk about this because um what's up everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl, to talk about Young, Famous, and African. Young, Famous, and African is a show on Netflix about young, famous African celebrities. Um, they're actors, directors, business people, beauty, all the things. DJs, musicians, artists, all of it, all the things. Um, and it's a group of friends. Remember Swanky, and they're all from different countries on the continent, and they meet up in Johannesburg, South Africa, and they some of them live down there, and but they travel a lot. They go back and forth, and it's just this group of a friend group of a very successful young African folk, and they of course follow their lives and the drama of their lives, and they film it over. I don't know what their like filming schedule is, and like they film over a course of time, but you can tell in a lot of the episodes, like I was saying on the other video, that you can tell that there's time in between their filming. They don't continuously film for like 3 months like the reality shows here. Like they don't continue like you could tell there's weeks between the time that they see each other from the last episode or from the last event. And that is one of the things that I love. One thing that I do love, and I said it on the last video, is that the episodes, you get a good rating with Netflix if you binge a season of a show. It's good that you get good numbers. If people, the more people that binge watch it, watch the whole thing all the way to the end, you get good numbers for Netflix. And I, the way that they edit the show is they end the last episode and it continues. Every episode continues to the next episode from the last scene. And when it goes to the next episode, you really don't even know, because they will only way you'll know is because when it ends, it of course flashes the credit, but then you know how it'll go to the next episode. The next episode literally will start off in the same dot, like to be continued, and no intro, no nothing, right? And it's 8 episodes, and they're like a little less than an hour a piece, but it literally, the episodes don't even seem like they're an hour at all. um and I think when they do that, it's like really smart, because you can easily just keep watching it, right? Because it's not ending. It's not ending. Even when it ends, it immediately goes to the next episode with no intro, nothing. So like for instance, if I'm watching Housewives on Peacock, it'll go to the next episode, but then it'll have the intro. It'll give you a recap and an intro, and then it'll start. With Young, Famous, and African, it ends, it shows the credits, and then it scrolls to the next episode, and it starts exactly where it left off. Just a little bit rewind, almost like rewound a little bit, and it continues right where it left off. But then the next scene in that episode, you can tell that there's been a time span between the last time they saw each other. And every time they get together, it is drama. Somebody is bringing something up about whatever. They throw shade, and it's like in your face. I mean, like no holds bar. One American, Fantana. I think her parents live in Ghana. I don't know if one of her parents is from Ghana, but she's American. Let me see what about Fantana. Hold on. I'm gonna see what her story is. I love that the things that I love about this show is that Fantana, let's see. Fantana is Ghanaian American. Yes. So her mother, she's 27. So yeah, she's American. And then also that's the only American, but what I do love is when they say like American colloquialisms. I love that. I love when because there was one part when they were like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's so good. I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy the the luxuriousness of it all. They're just always dressed so beautifully. The makeup, I can do with all the pounds of makeup, but that's what the girls do. The wigs, that's what the girls do. I can't say nothing. I'm bald headed, so I don't have nothing to say. But okay. There was one scene where Annie, her all this lace up here was lifted. I was like, girl, no, Annie. So we know Annie and Tu Baba, right? He wasn't on there. We just saw him on the FaceTime one time, but she is still up to her old tricks. Shady as hell. The first episode, Kai Mama T, what's her name? Kyrie, what's her name? Hold on, let me go back. Girl, Sin had her baby, Sin Santana. I think her baby's a month old now. She did have her baby. Chef Kwame is the dad of the baby. Didn't y'all say that Elizabeth Overseen has a baby with Chef Kwame? I I was under the impression that the pregnancy was terminated, but some of y'all say that there's a baby over there. So I don't know. Um, Let me see. Young famous African cast. Okay, here. Um, all right. Okay, let me get it up. Let me get the cast. I need the cast. I need the cast listed so I can remember everybody's names and say their names right. They had two new people. Any Edu, she is Nigerian. Yes, a Nigerian actress and director, film producer. And then Kefwele. She's also an actress. And of course, Swanky brings all of the girls, right? Um, Swanky and Annie are still coming off of last season where Annie, Swanky says he heard Annie talking shit about him. And the way Annie was acting in this season, I believe him. I believe him. And the way he made it seem like she said something homophobic. That's I'm just going to speak plainly. That um is what I got from, and he didn't want to like say it, but implied that, and she's still upset because her daughter is questioning her mother's character. She feels that. And I said, "Oh, yeah, the daughter's not questioning your character for dealing with her dad over and over again after he cheats on you, baby." When I tell you, Kai, what's her name? What's the girl's name? Hold on. Um, Annie. Hold on. What's her name? Zari got her ass together. Okay, so the first episode, Zari is getting married to this guy named Shakib, who, baby, he stays moisturized. Okay, he is a boxer. He's an athlete. He's a boxer. They get married. Annie's at the wedding. Nadia's at the wedding. I think Swanky was at the wedding. Everybody's at the wedding. She invited Fantana, and she was surprised because Fantana is actually messing around with Diamond Platinums. Remember, they got together last season. They've been messing around. She's acting like she doesn't have any sense when it comes to him. We know that Nadia is coming off of her partner. Um, I think he was a drive-by shooting or something like that, but her partner is deceased and has transitioned. And so she's dealing with that. Annie is dealing with whatever she got going on in her household. She never really got into it, but her behavior was very indicative that this girl's going through something. and she's being very nasty and very rude and just like blunt and like acting like she doesn't care about anybody else, just rude. And then when you say something to Annie, all of a sudden she's so broke down and tired and oh my god, I don't know what to do with my life. You understand what I'm saying? And so that comes later. Naked and Kaylee are still going back and forth about Kaylee wanting to get married, and Naked, he let her move in. He gave her a key, let her move in, but she still wants to get married. Kanye is not on there. Lewis is back. Lewis is back. I actually don't like the way they treat Lewis, and maybe we're not seeing what Lewis is doing. But Fantana got on Lewis, telling him that he likes everybody because he called himself liking her, and she's messing with and basically he was like, well, you chose diamond platinums, right? Basically he's a whore, community dick, right? And he's there. He still wants a child. He still wants to raise a family, because we know that he has been cut off from his family because he was having sex on Big Brother Africa. I didn't know that's what it was. I didn't know that's what it was. But anyway, so his family, I don't know if they're Jehovah's Witness, but they said that he was like excommunicated. It might be Catholic. I don't know. He was excommunicated. It might be Christian, excommunicated from the church. And so he doesn't deal with his family anymore. So he wants a family, and it's continuing over to this. The two new women, they are really good. They added to the show. They came in good. But on the first episode, Zari is getting married to Shakib, and Annie is talking shit at the wedding, loud enough so that people can hear her, just rude, had no compassion at all. Zari and Annie have issues. Then at the wedding, Annie was talking shit to Nadia, telling Nadia she was a liar and this and that. Nadia took Swanky's side on the issue between Annie and Swanky. So Annie is mad about that. And so she was calling Nadia fake at the wedding, but like talking loud to her, not waiting until like the wrong place, wrong time for the conversation, right? And she's mad at her for that. Nadia's position is like, girl, Swanky is my friend. I know you through Swanky. Swanky is my friend. I'm going to take his side. That's just what it is. We could be cool, we could be cordial, but that's my friend. I know you through him. He's my friend. That's who my loyalty is going to be to. That's basically where Nadia's coming from. Nadia, Fantana, and Swanky are cool. They hang out a lot together, which I love. Um, Diamond Platinums, honey, he is messing with Fantana and acting like, and he said it, I lie to women, I feed women fantasies, they eat it up and think that they're the only one. Fantana thinks she's pregnant by Diamond Platinums. He acts like he wants a child, and then when she finds out she's not pregnant, acts like he got mad that she wasn't pregnant. Girl, I was like, he really can put on a show. I know he like raps, he's a musical artist, but he could be an actor. Because when I tell you, he be lying to these girls. And Fantana, a lot of people don't really like her. And I was with Nadia. I can't be your friend if you're gonna be dumb over a man. But she was playing along when they kept getting into fights. Like last season, they kept getting into fights, but it was almost like we didn't understand what the fights were about. And now this season, it's like a spill over from last season. Um, so at the wedding, Annie, when Zari's husband Shakib walks down the aisle, she was like, "Oh my God, he's young," and she said it like loud enough. And then Annie is funny to me. Annie is funny, but she's like, she's almost like Lisa Rinna. Like she's gonna say what's on her mind. She's just gonna say it, but then I don't think even Lisa Rinna was like that. No, Annie, I feel like she is like like when Zari got her ass together at that table and was telling her, girl, you have a lot of nerve to be talking about my husband. You need to be worried about your man making babies all over Africa, girl. I was like, get her ass. Because she's the type of person, like, she talks all that shit. She doesn't have any compassion about, and not like, almost like she has no self-awareness, and then acts like she's so like pained that she has to say it. But she's just so like, I don't know, it's very weird. Like she said, um, he needs to be worried about being a father to 5 children, and 3 of the children are in his age bracket. Girl, I was like, she's not lying, but it's like, girl, be quiet at this lady's wedding. So of course she has to bring it up. And when I tell you Zari cussed Annie out, Annie was like literally projecting what she feels about your husband going around sleeping with 20-year-olds. You worried about me marrying a young man, and you want to call me an old lady, tell me I'm gonna be an old lady at home. You the old lady at home, not me. When I tell you Zari cussed Annie out at that table, she did not hold no punches, none at all. And then of course Annie was like doing her head all to the side like she don't know, like she's so dramatic, girl. I was like, see, it's perfect because they all like they're in entertainment in some kind of way, so they be acting and stuff. I'm telling you, Annie is dangerous, and I feel like she is a little narcissistic. I feel like she is, and I feel like what Nadia said about her. Basically, Nadia is like, I don't fuck with Annie. Annie is fake. She come in here smiling at everybody. You know, we have an event. She comes in here and acts like she wasn't just at this lady's wedding talking shit about her and her. And then, bitch, at the reception, she gets up and gets the mic and gives a toast. Mind you, last season when her and Tu Baba, when they renewed their vows, she didn't invite Zari. But Zari invited you to her wedding, and you still got up and spoke and was like, I know you don't want me here. And she like does her head, like she be doing her head and moving her body always. It gives like I'm having withdrawals from some kind of chemical. It does. I don't know what that is all about, but she's always just like doing her head like this, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Zari. And it's like, girl, and why did you invite me? I know we just had our problems. And it's like, girl, go sit down. But to Nadia's point, Annie can come through here with a bulldozer and wreck the whole fucking scene up. And everybody excuses like, oh, she could be going through something. She must be going through something. And then Nadia's like, I had my fiance was killed, girl. I've been going through it, right? I've had to have people around me, even his mother. Everybody had to be around me. I couldn't be alone. That's how bad Nadia was going through it, right? I can't be alone. And then I'm not going through causing a scene, being destructive, creating chaos and confusion. Annie gets to get away with it because she's this insufferable wife, right? Her man is cheating on her, stays cheating on her. There's always a scandal when it comes to her man, but you around here talking about everybody else's shit. When I tell you, and then Swanky, he was like, I don't want to, and he kept saying it before he blew up. He was trying his best. He really blew up. Him and Lewis got into it, girl. He got into it with Annie because when Zari was cussing Annie out, and rightfully so, she motions to Swanky like he's supposed to step up and protect her, I guess because they're from the same tribe. But she was like, girl, no, because you was talking shit about me to Fantana, and Fantana came and told me you were talking shit about me, telling her not to trust me. And remember, Swanky, Nadia, and Fantana, they clicked up, right? So Fantana and Annie went out, and Annie was talking shit about Swanky the whole time. And she was like, I hope you know I'm going to go back and tell him. She was like, I know. Well, yeah. Girl, I'm telling him everything you say. I'm just letting you know. And even Fantana was like, I hope she knows I'm going to tell him everything she's telling me. I don't even know why she's sitting here talking about my friend to me the way she's talking to me, and not think I'm going to go and back and tell him. So he found out that, of course, Fantana went back and told him. So he was, when Zari cussed her ass out for talking shit at the wedding, saying her husband was young, she got up there and gave a toast talking about, oh, I know you, I didn't invite you, thank you, because I love love and this and that. Yeah, we know you a fool, and you a fool in love. What I don't understand about Annie is that you are concerned about your character when it comes to what Swanky implied from this voice note that was never a voice note. I do not, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not remember Swanky saying it was a voice note. I remember him saying he was on the phone with the girl and she called the girl and was talking, and she was basically letting him listen to the conversation, or he heard the conversation and he heard her talking shit about him. So it's almost like on brand that you're talking shit about him, because you on camera was talking shit about him to Fantana. And did you not think Fantana was gonna? So it's just piled on to what he said about you last season. But you are so concerned about your character, right, being questioned, right, but not the way you look going back to this girl's father after he has so many scandals on you. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand Annie. I think her bluntness, and they're all very blunt, they're all very forthright. The shade that they, girl, Fantana and Lewis got into it this season. Lewis was like, I'm not gonna let y'all punk me like y'all did last season. This season, Lewis was cussing everybody out. Him and Fantana got into it. Okay, so Fantana is acting kind of funny because she's messing with Diamond Platinums. Lewis showed interest in her, but Lewis said, I guess she likes the bad boys, so I'm gonna let her, sink or swim with Diamond Platinums. So they go to an event. He is talking about how somebody else is attractive. She starts making comments like, he likes everybody. He's for everybody. Lewis is for everybody. He loves everybody. Like, what's deeper than the woman looking good for you to want to talk to her? You don't know nothing about the girl. You just like everybody. And he basically was like, okay, whatever, but how many songs do you have? How many songs do you have? Name 3 Fantana songs. I was like, oh my God, girl. Lewis said he was not playing with them this season. And it's really sad because all Lewis wants is a family. And it's weird that they are acting like there's something wrong with him wanting to find a woman to carry a baby for him. Like, I don't feel like um any Idu, she is a woman who used a surrogate for her baby. She has a baby, or a child. I don't know how old the child is, but she used a surrogate. She's a new one. And when he found that out, he was like, oh, he wanted to ask her. But in the way that he asked her, she felt like she was offended, right? But she didn't know his story. And see, I feel like Lewis, maybe, I don't know his timing. Maybe it's his timing that rubs people the wrong way. Because I'm like, what is Lewis really doing for everybody to respond to him the way that they're responding to him, when all he wants is to have a baby because his family cut him off? He wants a baby. And I think we're so used to women wanting family so desperately that we don't get to see a man saying, I was cut off from my family. I want to have a child. And I'm not, basically, I'm not going to wait until I'm in a relationship for a woman to have a child, but I want a child. And I guess he wants to find, I don't know. Annie did not like that. Annie did not like that. Diamond Platinums tried to talk to Keffy. Keffy was like, she set him up. She went out with, he was like, I want to meet you. Of course, he wants to jump on anybody that comes new to the group. Diamond Platinums wants to try them, basically, because he's a ladies' man. And he says he's a ladies' man because he lies to the girls. That's exactly what he said. I lie to them. I sell them a fantasy. I make them believe that I've chosen them, basically, and they eat it up. They eat it up, and they do, and the girls do, because everybody's online like, I don't see what's attractive. He's selling the girls a fantasy. He's not a bad looking dude. So Annie, they get Annie together. Everybody's mad at Annie. Swanky's mad at Annie because Annie was talking, just keeps talking about him, keeps talking about this voice note. I remember Swanky saying that it was a phone call. that he overheard. I don't remember him saying it was a voice note. So what he's telling people, he's like, she's changing the narrative of what it actually is and harping on something that was never even mentioned. There was no voice note ever mentioned. I might need to go back and watch one of those episodes because I don't remember him saying it was a voice note. Annie changed it to make it seem like it was a voice note. And now she wants him to play this voice note. And he was like, it was never a voice note. I don't even know where you're getting this from, right? It was never a voice note, but you keep harping on it. Like, he needs to play the voice note. There was no voice. I heard you live talking about me. Was no recording ever, never. So y'all let me know because I don't remember them being a recording. What else? Nadia. Oh, Kaylee and Naked. Still, she wants him to marry her. He finally proposed, but we'll see. I feel like it, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it feels like to want somebody to marry you. I don't know what that feels like. So she wants him to marry her. She wants a committed relationship. He was like, I am committed to you, but she wants to be legally tied to you to show the commitment. She wants a baby. He was like, yeah, I want a baby too. She was like, but no, I need a plan. We need to have a plan. I want a baby, but that's it. No, that's not happening. I don't want that for my life. And if you can't give that to me, I'm moving on. So he proposed. So I don't know if next season we're going to see a wedding or what's going to happen. But Kanye talked to him about it. And basically, Naked is basically, I don't want to get married again. It will be my third marriage. I don't want to fail at marriage again. The first marriage failed. It was embarrassing. Second marriage failed. It was even more embarrassing. I don't want to get married again and fail at it again. I will be even more embarrassed. I don't know why. I mean, there are plenty of women who are the third wives to men, but I would definitely have to see the Yelp reviews. Now, apparently, one of his ex wives has transitioned, and it was really hard for him. And he really went through it with that. And that kind of helped him understand. He didn't remember, well, he didn't take into consideration Nadia. Nadia lost her fiance, and her basically she's just been smiling through it. She hasn't gone to therapy. She needs therapy because um she's not acting out like Annie is acting out. And that's what Nadia was saying. Like, I don't think it's fair that everybody is always making excuses for Annie. Bitch, when who asked Annie was she okay? Zari. She was like, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Say, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? No, she's not. Annie is not okay. I think Annie, I feel like she's one of those narcissistic women. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like she thinks she's doing good as a mom, and she's like, probably like, I don't know. It's something about the way it's almost like, and then even when she's like emoting to her children on FaceTime, like she wants to grab them. It's very like her mannerisms are very over dramatic. And it's just like, and it seems like someone who is having withdrawals from like a chemical dependency. It looks very odd. Her the way that she emotes is just very odd to me. They be looking fly in the damn confessionals. I loved Annie's hair. She had like a little like high top, and then she had like a part right here. It was so cute. It was so cute. Her fashions weren't that great this season. They were better when she was closer to Swanky. Just saying. They were lacking, and she even went home. She was like, I don't even want to be here. She went home, and then she ended up coming back. Um, who else? Oh, okay. Okay, Nadia, Annie, and so Nadia was not here for Annie's fakeness. She was not here for it. She didn't want to be fake with her. She didn't want to hug her. She didn't want to do none of that stuff. She cussed her out too. Annie ended up calling Nadia a witch and a bitch and this and that. And she was like, you insulted me at that wedding. I'm supposed to be cool with you. No, you haven't apologized. You haven't said nothing to me. You haven't, but you get to run around and act like this because you're a man. And that's what Zari told her. Like, you going around acting like this at people's wedding because your man is running around with 20-year-olds. Girl, I was like, get her. Somebody needed to drag Annie. And then finally, Swanky ended up going off on her about because she wanted him to protect her when she was getting cussed out, and he was like, "No, because you was talking shit. You was talking shit about me." They blew up almost every event that they had. Some of them they did eat, but they blew up. Like people were leaving all the time. Zari was leaving. So Shakib is Zari's new husband, and he's younger than her. And Diamond, he feels that he can get Zari back with the snap of his fingers, right? And that she is still in love with him. And if he wanted her back, he can have her back. So he said something to Zari about if she wanted another baby, he would be the father. So she didn't have to have a baby by two different men. And he said he had text message. He was lying, basically, but basically trying to make Shakib feel insecure about his relationship with Zari. And like he was believing him at first, and then he finally decided, like, I should believe my wife. Yeah, you should. But he was like believing him at first. Lewis was telling him, don't believe him. Do not believe what he's telling you. Let's see. I love the way that Lewis apologized to Annie. So he decided that he wants to have a baby, so he is going to meet up with women that he knows and has relationship with, previous relationship or some type of relationship, not necessarily a previous romantic relationship. And he wants to interview the women because he wants a baby. He wants somebody to carry the baby. So because Annie has went through surrogacy, he invites her. She gets offended because she feels like it's offensive for a man to parade women around looking for somebody to carry his baby and just be so flippant about it. And she was offended that she was even invited, and she yelled at him. She was like, don't you dare talk to me. Don't say nothing to me. Cuss his ass out. Baby, when I tell you everybody was cussing Lewis out, Lewis and Swanky got into it. I think he told Annie, fuck you too. I think she told him, fuck you. And he was like, fuck you too. When I tell you Swanky jumped up, I was like, oh no, you're not about to talk to my girl like that. You done lost your damn mind. They was in each other's face. They stood up on each other. But then the next few weeks, they were cool again. Not cool, but like cordial. They kept messing with Lewis, but Lewis said, I'm not going to let y'all punk me this season. And he was cussing everybody out. Let's see who else. Okay, so we got Kaylee and Naked out the way. Shakib and Zari. She had to tell him, you're going to believe everything you hear from Diamond, and he's just trying to make you jealous. But we notice them when they're together, they get very touchy-feely. And her husband did not like that. He says, I don't like that. I don't like the way that in public, the way that you guys touch each other. It makes me very uncomfortable. He was clear with her. He spoke to her. He communicated what he didn't like. He wasn't like, and one thing I do like, what I will say about these men, I don't know about Diamond because he usually like, but they are very good at like communicating. Like they might be dogs, right? Like Naked and Diamonds, but they're very clear on how expressing themselves. Diamond is going around telling everybody him and Fantana are just fuck buddies. And when they're together, she says, even though that's what we are, when people ask me about my relationship with you, I don't put it like that. You're making it seem like all we do is screw, and that might be true, but the way that you're putting it is disrespectful to me. We know what we agreed upon. Basically, that's what Fantana is saying. Their agreement is be with whoever you want to be with, but when we come together, we're together. And she's fine with that, right? But then she's also acting like, oh, I want to have his baby. Oh, I thought it was cute for a while, but then I was like, no, I'm so happy that I'm not pregnant by him. She thought she was pregnant. you need to be protecting yourself. If you're okay with him smashing other people, the way he puts it, smashing other people, and then when y'all come together, there's a you had a pregnancy scare, you need to strap it up, Fantana. Fantana has her teeth, like she really has like she has like those gums, like those. But the what's crazy is people be having those gums and their teeth be hella little, like Bambi, like Beyonce. Beyonce has had hers fixed. Bambi had hers fixed too, where they kind of shorten the gum line, but her teeth are equally as big as her gums, right? Like they're almost like the same length. I think she's pretty though, but her teeth are just like as big as her gums. She can't help it. I mean, she could probably get some work done, but she's not an ugly girl. Anyway, um she is basically acting like that's what Nadia was like. If you're dumb about Diamond, I cannot be your friend. We cannot be friends and you acting dumb about a nigga. Not in this day and age, especially community dick. Not anybody like Platinum, right? She didn't want to tell anybody. She thought she was pregnant. Then they told Swanky, and then they told, um, and then like it was like Zari was there, and she didn't make a fuss about it at all. I guess because she's married now, but she didn't say anything like, "Girl, why would you have unprotected sex with diamonds?" He be all over Africa, literally. Okay, they were like he want to have babies all over Africa, and that he act like he was mad when she wasn't pregnant. And then Nadia was like, Swinky was like, you need to, if she's pregnant, you need to go meet her family. He was like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not meeting nobody's family. I'm not committed to I'm not trying to be in no committed relationship with nobody. A baby is different. We can have a baby, but I don't want to be in a committed relationship. That's not what is happening. And he said it straight like that. But I understand what Nadia was saying. If all we're doing is being together when we're together, when somebody asks you about me, don't speak so like it means nothing, right? Even though it's not anything, but don't talk like that. You don't have to put it that way. um and that's what she explained to him when he tried to act like he wanted to get to know Keefe, right? So she's a new person, and of course all the new women that come, they're like vultures, right? And Diamonds is the only one that's like, Lewis is another one. So it's almost like Lewis and Diamond go try to get the girl. And they always pick Diamond because he's the bad boy. And Lewis is very like, the way he apologized to Annie, I was like, apology was that is how you apologize to somebody. I was like, oh my God. And it was he couldn't even get it out. She was already like, okay, come on, I'm cool. I forgive you. His apology was so sincere. You could tell because he put his hand over his heart. I don't know if he's acting, but his eyes got all teary, welled up with tears, and he put his hand over his heart before he can get his apology all the way out. And he was like, whenever you can, I hope that you can find it to forgive me. He said what he did. He took accountability for what he did. He said what his intentions were, and he didn't say if you felt like that or if I made you. He said everything. I was like, that is how you apologize. That is how you apologize. It was so complete. He didn't even get to the end, and she was like, okay, come on. I forgive you. I forgive you. And he was like, started to cry because I literally don't think that he meant to offend her, but I feel like he should have had the conversation with her first to explain where he is with his family and why he wants a child and why he wants to go the surrogacy route. The same way she wanted to go the surrogacy route. It's like, I can't wait for, I want a child and I don't want to wait until I'm married or anything like that. I do want a child, so I'm going to go the surrogacy route. I've had some issues bringing pregnancies to term, but I do want a baby, so this is the route I'm going to take. He wants to do the same thing. He wants to do the exact same thing. He wants a family, and he basically is like, I can't wait until I want a family. I want a child, and I can't wait until I'm in a relationship for that. I want a child. The same thing, and they don't seem to understand where Lewis is coming from. But I feel like with him and Annie that he could have explained. He could have sat down with her and said, "This is why I'm intrigued by your surrogacy journey because myself, I was on Big Brother and I did something on Big Brother that got me excommunicated from my church. My family, that's all they know is church. So they cut me off, and I don't have any family. And I'm not, meeting women the way that, whatever he could explain to her. I think then she would have understood, like, oh, that's why you want to, and why you want. I mean, she has the experience. So who better than to ask but her? And he just didn't explain himself. And so she was offended, but he apologized. He gave her a heartfelt apology, and she forgave him. Because she told him, fuck you. I don't want you talking to me. Don't, if you see me, don't say a word to me. Don't say nothing to me. The next event, he tried to greet her, and she was like, girl, don't talk to me. She said hello like that, and fixed her dress. And that was it. She was like, you can never talk to me. I don't know who you think you talking to, and blah, blah, blah. Kiffy and Zari get into it. So Zari does have main girl energy. She says she's a Libra, but she does have main character energy, boss lady, right? And um, she tried to accuse Keffy of doing her influencer thing when it came to her getting married. And there are some traditions that goats have to be exchanged, and she took some pictures with some goats, and she got married to somebody fairly quickly, and Zari was kind of throwing shade at her. So she was like, I don't really care for her, she's throwing shade at me, trying to say that basically I was just taking a photo opportunity, that I really wasn't married. And so she took offense to that. She confronts her. They get into it on the last episode. Baby, when I tell you, Keffy tried to throw her drink at Zardy. Zardy didn't even move, girl. She was looking at her like this. Her husband got in front of it, like all the drink got on him. She did not move, honey. He got in front of the drink. And then Kaylee didn't like the fact that Keffy tried to throw a drink at her. So she left too. When I tell you people kept leaving, they did the same. Every time they get together, somebody gets into it and they end up leaving. But every time, I'm trying to think, was there a time where they didn't get into it? I think at Diamond's house, but they didn't show too much. They didn't really get into it. And that's another thing. They don't spend too much time in a scene. Like, they show their group event, they'll show them their conflict, and then it like goes to the next scene. And then they're talking about, what happened at the last event. Who else is there? Okay, Diamond, Zari, Shakib, Naked, Kaylee, Lewis, Fantana, Nadia. Naked apologized to Nadia because Naked threw a party for Annie. So Annie, when she left, she got mad. She left. She went back home. But when she was back home, she was hospitalized for something. When she was hospitalized, she sent everybody a text saying, I love you all. I hope you forgive me. I'm sorry for blah, 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 right? An apology to everybody. And so then Naked had a party, making it seem like it was a party to celebrate their accomplishments, lied to Nadia, lied to Fantana, and told them it was for something else. Fantana was like, why am I here? If Swanky and Nadia don't come in the next 30 minutes, I'm out. I don't even, because she was like, they're my friends. Like, they really clicked up. She was like, if Swanky or Nadia don't show up, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. And then everybody got there. Annie finally got there. And then Nadia was mad. Nadia was mad that, why are we having this party so that Annie can apologize? And it's taking Annie forever to apologize. Annie was trying to get Annie. So it was like, Annie, come on, talk. She was like, okay, so Annie is from the same tribe as Annie. So they're like sisters. And she's new to the group, right? Swanky brought her. She's new to the group. So she's trying to help Annie, like, okay, like, if you're going to apologize, she's like, I've never seen her act like this. These people have problems with you. Everybody got a problem with Annie. But we get to this thing after you come back and you are taking forever to apologize. It's almost like somebody needs to like push you up to apologize. I don't know. The way that Annie acts is very manipulative. It's very manipulative, and it's very much like, it does give me an uneasy feeling the way she acts. I feel like she's dangerous. Like it's like her actions are dangerous to me. I don't know what it like. That's the only word that I can like. There, it's like volatile. She's violent, but she's very like in a covert way. She's very violent, right? Like a ninja. I don't know. It's weird. Annie creeps me out, but she's a mess. Like she's delusional, and just as delusional as Diamond. Like they're delusional. He has the self confidence, but he's delusional. Like he thinks he can get all the girls. I mean, he does get the girls, but well, when Nadia found out that that party was for Annie, she got mad. She was like, because you can go around, you can misbehave, you can, you know, cause scenes at people's weddings, and then we create this like this party for you, and it's taking you forever to actually apologize. You called me a bitch and a witch, insulted me at at the wedding, didn't even take an opportunity to speak to me. You're mad at me, calling me a liar because I took my friend's side. I took Swanky's side in you guys' beef because that's my friend. I took his side. And you were wrong. And you were wrong. But then you want to come in and be fake with everybody. I'm not being fake with you. She was like, girl, fuck you. Girl, when I tell you young, famous, and African is so good, and they be cussing each other out. And when I tell you they do not hold back, baby, when Lewis asked them how many songs does Fantana have, name 3 Fantana songs. I was like, get her. They don't have no problem with the men and the women cussing each other out. They don't even act like, oh, a man can't say no. They be going off on each other, girl. And I love that they go between their dialect and English. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then like several of them speak different dialects, from whatever tribe. I love it. I love when they use American lingo. And it was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to think of anybody else. We went through everybody. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let's go. Okay, we have Annie, Zari, Nadia. I actually follow Nadia on Instagram, and Swanky. Swanky. Okay, we got through their story. Kefilwe. She is she's new. She's a fashion influencer, traveler, and this and that. Yeah. Annie. I thought she was so cute. She's also an actress, a director. Shakib, he is a businessman and also an amateur boxer. Fantana, we know about her. And then who else? Quentin, Naked DJ. Kaylee, we already got with their story. Lewis, we got with his story. Kanye, she wasn't on there that much. And Diamond Platinums, we know. I think that's it. Yeah, so we went through everything. Hopefully y'all go watch it. It's actually really good. I'm just jumping around to the main parts because it just went all the way through and the stories were continuous. So hopefully I um touched on everybody's thing. Zari and Annie are cool now. Swanky and Annie apologized. Everybody wiped the slate clean except for Nadia and Annie. Nadia is like, girl, fuck her because she can go around. I've been going through stuff. Everybody's going through stuff. But she's the only one that goes around and destroys everything and burns the town down. And then we create a party so that she can apologize, and then she sits there again with the attitude, still bringing up, oh shit, girl, get her out of here. That's how Nadia feels about Annie. I'm kind of on board with the way that Nadia is with Annie because Annie, although she's very blunt and you can't believe like the shit that comes out of her mouth, that which makes for good, TV. But she gets beside herself. And I'm so glad Zari cussed her ass out, baby. Zari cussed her ass out. And Swanky was like, she was like, Swanky, you just gonna let? He was like, girl, please. Like, I'm not about to say anything after I know you was talking shit about me to Fantana. And like, was literally telling Fantana, don't trust him. Don't trust him. He was my friend for so many years, blah, 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 this and that. She was like, I hope she knows I'm gonna go back and tell him everything she said. And then when Nadia was getting with Annie at Annie's party, um, Fantana was in the back, was like, she don't understand. She was like, you don't understand what a friend is. And then she was like, or what standing on business is, or what standing on business is. They were getting her together. Nadia was getting her together, but Fantana was basically like, yeah, yeah. She goes like, girl, because if this is for Annie and I'm here, I don't need to be here. Especially that Annie is into it with Swanky and Nadia, and those are my girls. Them is my people. So if she's into it with them, I'm with them. And it was good. It was good. Go watch it. Anyways, that's Young, Famous, and African, y'all. That's all I have to say. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.